Yes, YouTube, what is good? Team Legal Fit back with another video for you. So this video today is kind of a bit of a follow-up video to my previous video regarding a day in the life of a UK lawyer. So in this video I'm going to talk about 4 skills which I believe are essential to have in the legal profession. So yeah, let me get into it. So yeah, these 4 skills are: number 1 is to be teachable, number 2 is to be resilient, number 3 is to find your value, and number 4 is to exercise patience. So I'll go into a bit more detail on each one of those as we progress through the video. So number 1 then, be teachable. If you're doing something such as the LLB, which is the undergraduate university course, or you're doing the LPC, a lot of what you're learning is from the book, and you're just revising what's in the book and you're learning what's in the book. You may not see the practical aspect of things. So what I mean is, when you step into the legal profession on the practical side of things, be prepared to have what you've learned through your degree, but store it away somewhere and be prepared to take on new information, learn new information, and learn new ways of doing things. Don't be so rigid and set and stuck in the ways that you've learned from reading the textbook through your previous study, because what you'll come to realize is the way they set things out in the textbook is completely different to the way things may operate in real life practice. So you may have in a textbook that it sets out steps 1 to 5. Learning that and applying that in an exam is simple enough. You just rehearse, revive steps 1 to 5. In practice though, in reality, it's going to be much more difficult. You may need to be prepared to start at step 5 and then go back to step 1 and then go back to step 5 again before you can get to step 2, step 3, step 4, etc. So that's one thing to bear in mind. You have to be teachable, be open to learn new things. Just because it says it in a certain way in the book doesn't mean that that's the way it actually has to be done. You've got to look at the practical side of things and see what actually works. So skill number 2 then is resilient. You've got to be resilient in this legal profession. A lot of the time you may plan things out to go a certain way and things end up going the complete opposite. A good example is in the situation of litigation, which is where you're basically going to court to argue on different matters. You may think that your case is watertight, that your client is completely in the right, your client's going to win the case, but the day of the hearing, things go the complete opposite way. You never know what's going to happen when you put your case before a judge and you put your case before the court, so things can always go wrong. There may be something you didn't anticipate, something you didn't account for, something you weren't aware of, and things can go wrong. But the important thing is, when things go wrong, is that you're able to pick yourself back up and dust yourself off and just keep on going and not let it affect you too much. Because you'll see what will happen is, if you start to let those things affect you, the previous mistakes that you make are going to have an impact on your actions that you take going forward. So you may be more scared to do certain things because you've made a mistake previously, which is in the long run is just going to harm your potential in your career. So being resilient is something to develop and something to be aware of. So the 3rd skill is finding your value and being able to demonstrate your value. Now, if you're young or you're in the early stages of the legal profession, finding your value is going to be a very difficult thing to do, but there's going to be little bits and pieces that you can pick up and know that you're good at those things, or you're on the way to building up your knowledge and your practical skills in that area. So what I say is take some time to find what that thing is and just keep on developing it, keep on sharpening your sword, so someone can come to you and say that that's your speciality. Can you help me out on this? It's very important to do that. Also as well, when you're in a situation of maybe you're at a trainee level and everyone else that you're working with is up sort of at a more senior level, they've got much more experience in the team, it's kind of hard to find your place within the team. So what you have to do is find an area that you can assist someone with and be the sort of go-to person for that particular area, which is always a good idea. The fourth skill is patience. I can't stress it enough. In this profession, you have to have so much patience. Things are not gonna go the way you plan them or go necessarily the way they should go. You just have to be patient a lot in this profession. Your clients won't a lot of the time sense the urgency with certain things, or they may think something else is so urgent when it's really not urgent. So you just have to exercise a lot of patience, especially when you're trying to get instructions from your client as to what they want to do or what they need to do going forward, or when you're trying to get pieces of information from various sources and the information is just not forthcoming. Also in the case as well, when you're trying to maybe deal with a matter that's in the court and you're trying to deal with your opponent, so the matter doesn't have to reach court, when you're trying to reach a settlement out of court and they just seem to be prolonging things and it doesn't seem necessary, you have to exercise a lot of patience. I can't stress it enough. Develop patience and you'll be able to go far in this profession, in my point of view. So yeah, that was just a quick video on the 4 skills that I believe you need in the legal profession. As I said, I'm just speaking from my sort of experience and what I've learned at this sort of early stage in my career. If there's any questions you have regarding this topic or any other topic that I speak about in any of my videos, then don't be afraid to leave a comment below or just contact me via the usual social media means, which I'll leave in the description below. Yeah, thanks for watching.